Hey, folks, welcome back to another podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe Podcast. I am your host, Evil Dungeon Master Vince, and today is Thursday. Time for a new podcast. First, I'd like to say thank you to Esper Ranger, who rated me on Apple Podcasts and gave a review of 5 stars. Always enjoyable. Love Vince's reviews and actual plays, especially when he has a full table. Thank you very much for the review and 5 star. If you want to head over to Apple Podcast and rate me 5 stars and leave a review, I'll read it on the air. And thank you to those that go to Spotify and increasing the the ratings there as well. TheEvilDM.com, my website, has been redesigned, and it's a wonderful place you can go and subscribe to if you want to keep up with everything I'm doing. With that said, I'm going to head over to today's topic. We're going to walk right over. No, just kidding. Today we're going to talk about Gumshoe and Trail of Cthulhu, the role-playing game. It was brought to my attention by a listener named Tompkins. That's the only name he gave in the email. Was that there is a game, because he heard on various podcasts that I've been doing that I like to play detective noir games, and I enjoy playing it solo. He said, "Why don't you look at the Gumshoe System?" And I've heard the name of the Gumshoe System many times in the past, and I'm just like, didn't think it really was something I'd be interested in, because why? But I went and grabbed the Trail of Cthulhu book, and I've been reading that. And it's an interesting system, the Gumshoe System, designed by Robin Laws, and it focuses heavily on investigation role play with guaranteed clue discovery. So you don't have to exactly go to places and find the clues. You just have to figure out what the clues mean when you go to the scene of the crime or when you go interview people. You can get clues by spending points in a game or a scene, so to speak. They have it set up that basically when you're playing the game, if you're playing Trail of Cthulhu, for example, and you have so many points into a specific skill, you're considered an expert in that field, the top of the line person in that field. So you'll be able to find the clues that you need to proceed forward. You just have to figure out what the clues exactly mean by piecing them together. Kind of like as if you were Sherlock Holmes finding little clues here and there, you'd figure out how to put them together. Now, character creation is pretty simple. You have a certain amount of points to allocate to your skills and your attributes. The GM usually will give you the amount. I think it said it's 65 points. Again, I'm just starting to read this, so I figured I'd talk a little bit about this. And you could choose to be a seasoned detective, a journalist, or a paranormal investigator, or whatever of the time period you're playing in. And there are certain abilities that you're going to want, and it's broken up into two. I believe it's two different interesting categories. There's your general ones, and then there's like the investigative research ones that include like forensics, interrogation, and stuff. Like the general ones are like athletics, stealth, and driving. Those are general abilities that'll help you out the game, but or escaping danger, so to speak, depending on what you're doing. So now each scene has triggers, and it's like an investigation when you get there. So there's something that will trigger an investigation, like a mysterious death in a small town or a missing persons case. You know, we've all seen those detective TV shows or movies when the guy's sitting there drinking his whiskey, looking out, smoking a cigarette, trying to figure out what his next move is, and then the gorgeous looking dame walks in and sits down, lights up a cigarette, and talks about how she lost her husband to this or that, or she lost her famous diamond, and something weird like that. Things we all enjoy watching. These things will trigger you to start moving forward. Now, there could be other things like conspiracies and stuff like that, when a secret cult is performing a dark ritual, or a corporate corruption hiding illegal activities, or a political coup or something like that. Those are things you can touch upon, but might be a little bit more difficult to do. So when you go to a crime scene or whatever you're starting your investigation, generally you will find little tidbits here and there that will lead you to the next place to go. And it's the GM's job to provide these things to you when you get to the scene. When you start looking around and asking questions and you're using your points to find certain things and interpreting them. Now you have to play a little bit in character and out of character for this because you're interpreting it in character and out of character. So you're using the metagaming / regular gaming when figuring things out. Now I know people are like, "Well, I'm not that bright as a greatest detective in the world," but your detective in game is, so the GM can help you with that. And you don't have to be the brightest person in the world to figure everything out. And I'm tired of that excuse as well when some people say that. And to move from scene to scene, you have to interview people, you have to search locations for various things, analyze clues that you find, like there's blood on the ground. Where did the trail of blood go? The blood splatters go this way, so it's probably going to be a large man who did this, who from right-handed possibly, or maybe you found a knife on the ground, and you got some fingerprints off the knife that led to a known criminal in the area who is downtown. You have to go to him and start questioning him, possibly. Why is his fingerprints on there? Remember, you're a private eye, generally, in Gumshoe, so you're not the police. You're just a private investigator. You're just a gumshoe. You're a dick. Nothing else. Now you can, let's see here, find clues, spend points. That's the one thing that I'm still trying to figure out and get my head wrapped around how it works. So see if I could talk it out a little bit. Like I said, each skill has or ability has a pool of points attached to it. And you could spend a point to not only identify certain things like a criminal's hideout, but also gain some insight on what they're going to be doing next. Now, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work in play. It sounds like a lot of metagaming to be involved with that, but maybe it's not metagame. I'm not sure exactly, but I have to play to see how this works out. I think it's going to be fine. I definitely know this would be great for a solo game. But I like the idea of spending the point and getting some insight on certain things that's going on around you. So, and the game only is a 6-sided die, and you have to add whatever to it, modifier, and beat a difficulty rating. So, rolling against a difficulty of 4 to successfully pick a lock, you can do that. And you can option to spend a point to improve the roll as well. So, you get these points back. They're refreshed between scenarios and sometimes during play. After like a showdown, or I don't know, after the characters rest for a while, they get these points back to their pool so they can restart all over again. So it's an interesting game. I need to look more into it, but I want to discuss it a little bit because people keep asking me about it. And I've got Trail of Cthulhu sitting right here on the table next to me, and I've been perusing it for the last couple of nights ever since I got that email from Tonkins, excuse me. And he's been talking about that. So he's got me kind of excited about how it works. I've been, emailing back and forth with him, ask the DM at theevildm.com about it, and he's been giving me a little bit of advice how it works and everything. And I guess, it's an interesting system to look into. And if you're one of those people that everybody goes through this. As you get older, you want to just play a game and you don't want to have to worry about too much crunch. And maybe you enjoy it. Everybody has their own opinion on it, but I know as I'm getting older here, and yeah, I'm old. I want to see less crunch in games, and I want to see more of having fun and telling a story with my friends. I mean, I don't want to pass the stick around. I want some rules, but I like light rules compared to, I don't know, Pathfinder, Mathfinder, or was it Rollmaster? Remember that game, Rollmaster? I'd rather have just a couple of mechanics in the game and have something that helps move the story forward than have to worry about, I don't know, a +1 or +2. something like old Shadowrun was a great game, but it's a very crunch heavy game. A lot of rules involved with it. I loved it when I played it as a kid. Trying to replay it today didn't work out so well for me because it was just like way too many rules for me to really want to get my head wrapped around. I'm not slighting the game at all. I love the game, but just not something for me. Well, I'm going to head out. Tell me what you think about the Gumshoe system, what your experiences with it is, and I'd like to know. Like, comment, subscribe, rate the podcast or wherever it may be, and don't forget to write in. So keep it original, keep it old school. Good night. God bless. Remember, there is no drama, no clickbait in all gaming on this channel. Good night, everybody.